Right, so guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and in tonight's episode I've got something a little bit different. So I've been contemplating buying something for some time now. I've finally done it. So I've purchased my Pier that came this week, and I've also got the 2600 MC Pro monochrome camera, which came with a load of other little bits and pieces as well. So yeah, let's check this out. Alright guys, so there you go, that is the Ultra Sky Shed 8-inch with the fins for anti-vibration. I got that from our good friends down at the Widescreen Centre, along with the MC Pro 2600 monochrome. So yeah, super happy with the service that they provide every single time without fail. Really quick response to me, very quick on delivery and reasonably priced. So yeah, massive thank you to Simon down there. Right, okay, so anyway, let's get into the video. So what I've decided to do is I want to try and get this Pier in as quickly as possible, because every time I jump around in my shed, everything shakes. So it's time to sort that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab my telescope and I'm going to move it across with everything on it to see where my clearance is. And then from there I'm going to work out exactly where it's going to go down, and I'm just going to make sure that in between where my support structures are underneath of the shed, I'm not going to hit any of those when I actually go and cut out a round circle in the bottom of the base. And then from there we're going to drill down into the concrete. This is what I brought, it's called anchor bond, and what you do is you drill your hole. There's some instructions on the back, but I'm pretty sure that you drill it about 4 or 5 millimeter bigger than the actual threaded bolt that you're going to be putting into the ground. You squeeze that into it, you screw your actual threaded piece in, and then from there it sets in about an hour and it goes rock solid. These are really good, so we're going to get that in tomorrow. For the time being though, I'm going to start stripping out all of that side of the observatory and just getting it all prepared for tomorrow. And then what we'll do is I've set a camera up, you see here in the corner. So we've got a camera that should be able to see everything. I've got a 10mm lens on that, so it's a super wide angle, and that should do the trick, guys. But just looking at it, what I'm hoping is that I'm actually going to be able to get, it's going to be hard for you guys to see this, so I'm hoping to actually get the Pier to go in about here. So a big difference from where it is now to where I'm looking to have it, which is going to create a huge amount of room inside of the actual observatory. And what that means is I'm going to be able to set up my AM5 in the observatory at the same time and run both scopes. It just means I don't have to keep taking it outside. Once I've set it up, and it's going to be good. And I may well get another Pier. Just depends on how well this one goes. But what we got tomorrow night, we've got a bit of a clear night, so I'm hoping that I'm going to run the Celestron C11 tomorrow night, and we're going to get all polar aligned, make sure everything is running nice and smoothly on it, rebalance everything, and from there we'll actually be up and running, and then we'll start getting on to Nina. So let's get into this. So guys, just before we kind of get into the main part of the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my subscribers, all the people that have liked the videos, all the people that have commented. Everyone's been so kind, so friendly. They've been knowledgeable with their words of wisdom, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, I started this channel with the expectation of not a great deal, if I'm completely honest, just to document my journey. There was a couple of other reasons why I'd done it. I won't kind of get into one of the reasons. It's a bit deeper than kind of what I want to talk about, but just wasn't expecting the channel to be like this, and I'm really grateful. I wasn't even expecting it to go on this long. This was just a bit of a phase that I was going to try and go through, but this has helped me in a lot of ways, and I'm hoping that it can help a lot of other people with learning astrophotography. So yeah, a huge thank you. And also, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, the bell notification, all that good stuff, and throw me a comment, and I'll always come back to you guys. So yeah, I appreciate it. Anyway, let's get back into the video, shall we? Alright, so there you go guys. I've cleared out most of the stuff in the observatory at this point, except for the big C11. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and pick up the whole thing. I wouldn't suggest picking up the whole telescope in one go. However, I'm going to give it a good go. I'm just going to lift it up, push it over slightly, and then we're just going to pull the roof across and just see if we've got clearance. If we've got clearance, then that's where we're going to start putting the pier. Alright, so let's get into that one. Right, it was definitely heavier than what I thought. God knows how much that thing weighs, but it's bloody heavy. And you can see I've moved it a fair bit, which does mean that from where it was, which was about here, to now where it is here, it's actually going to be able to see a lot more of the night sky. So, fingers crossed, I can still close the roof. So let's have a little look. Be nice to me. Be nice to me. Let's see how much clearance we've got, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my actual God. Mate, was that perfect or what? I'm actually, right, I'm just going to make sure that we are perfectly straight. Right, I'm going to show you now how much clearance we've got. Ready? Oh mate, I can fit a finger under it. That, guys, is what I call success. Right, the next test. Look how wonderful this is out here tonight. I'm not sure how well you can see this. What a beautiful evening. We're quite lucky at the moment. Summer seems to be looking quite nice. I've had a few cloudy nights, but I'm so used to moaning about it. Alright, so this is the biggest one really, isn't it? The biggest test. Oh, it's not looking good. I mean, we've got clearance on this side. However, We're not going to have clearance on that front side. So I'm going to have to pick it up again, and I'm going to have to move it across slightly. That's fine, it's not the end of the world. Oh mate, this is close. This is real close. It's sort of almost sticking out. I might have to bring it in a bit and I'll bring it to me, and we've got to bring it over. We are slightly off of where I wanted it to be anyway. Yeah, so we've got to move it over just a little, just a tad, not a massive amount. Got to be gentle with her. Just got to be gentle. All right, I'm going to pick it back up again. I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got clearance all the way around now. I've just got to check the top one last time, which should be better because it's plenty better. So there's a good few fingers underneath of that now. And I've got just enough clearance, just in case the scope decides that it's going to mess up a little bit and go beyond where it should actually go. You see here now, let's show you the clearance that it's got. So just enough. Well, that works out nice. I've just got to make sure now that it hasn't gone where the support struts go through the actual shed base. But there you go. It's a big difference. It's already created so much more room in here, and once I've then got it onto a pier and without the tripod, there's going to be a huge amount more room. So that is a success so far. Alright, let's crack on. Okay guys, so now what I'm going to do is I've taken photographs of where everything was plugged in just to make sure that I'm correct with it all, and now we're going to actually take the scope apart. So we're going to strip all of this down. I'm not going to take bits off. I'll take the big dew shield off, but I'm going to leave everything else plugged in. And what I'm going to do is I've got this nice big fluffy rug. I'm going to take the scope off, put it on the fluffy rug, put the dew shield back on it to make sure that the dust stays away from it all. And then we're going to take the mount off of the tripod, and then what we're going to do is we're going to measure across and over that way, so from the front and the left. And then what we'll do is we'll go outside and just make sure that everything's right, and then what we'll do is we'll measure to the bottom of the floor, mark it so that that's exactly where the centre of the pier is going to go. So I'll put you on the other camera now, and yeah, let's strip it down. Alright guys, so let's have a little look at where we got to. So telescope is stripped down, it's all been taken off, and now this is where the pier is going to go. So you can see straight away I have so much more room in here. It's so much nicer, you know. So I've measured up from one side and the other side. I've marked out in the centre. So what I did was I actually went underneath the tripod, you know, where you put your the leg spreader, if you like, here, the support for the legs. I measured from the centre of the bolt to the side of the wall from both sides, and then I just done the same at the bottom. Crossed it at the bottom. It'd be nice to see what it's going to be like when I actually cut around that. But it's actually bang in the centre of one of my little tiles that I've put in here. So it fits actually perfect. Almost made for it. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, got my trusty Stanley knife. I'm just going to cut around the actual pier, because I know that's where it's going to go. What I might do is I might straighten it up a little bit so that the fins are exactly straight in line, just because I'm a bit fussy like that. So I'm going to get that done, and then yeah, we'll sort of catch up from there. Alright, so it's right through the middle of a beam. So there we go, there's the support right through. Oh well, it is what it is. We'll cut it up tomorrow. But that fits nice. Look at the tools that we need to actually drill down into the concrete. So if you want to do this yourself, I'll show you exactly what you'll need and whether it's successful or not. Alright, I'll catch up with you in the morning. Good night, guys. Right, good morning, guys. So I've had a bit of a think overnight about exactly how I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do at the moment, let's go and have a look at it and show you. Okay, so the plan is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Stanley knife. I'm going to cut around that by about 20mm, just to get rid of a little bit of extra foam, just so that the shed's definitely not going to be touching any part of the pier. And it's also because I couldn't find my jigsaw this morning, so I'm having to use an oscillating tool to cut through, which is not great, but I can't find it anywhere, and I'm not sure if I've left it at work or what. So oscillating tool will do the job anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so I'm going to start working on that now, and then I'll put you on the other camera just so you can see it, and I'll time lapse through, and we'll catch up in a bit. Okay, so I've cut out the hole, not looking nice, however it's good enough. The pier goes in it, and once I put the foam floor piece back over the top of it, it'll all be covered anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. And then yeah, look, I'll show you what it looks like. So I've hoovered it all out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the pier in place, and then I'm just going to make sure that the measurements are all correct with it. Once I've done that, I'll mark out the holes and I'll drill the new holes through, and then we'll hoover it all again. Okay, so I've drilled the holes. That's gone all right actually. However, remember when you're going to put your pier in, make sure that you actually look at what way you sort of marked out your holes, because the holes on the actual pier were different all the way around, only by a few mil, but I couldn't line the holes up, so finally found the right orientation for that. So that's all sorted now. I've hoovered the holes out, however I've left my mastic gun at work, so I'm going to have to go back to work and get the mastic gun so that I can get this epoxy resin into the holes so we can get this all to set. So I'm going to pop out now and I'll be back in about an hour's time, so I'll see you soon. Alright guys, so these are the tools that you're going to need to install the pier. I'll just show you in the video exactly what you're going to need. Okay, so on the anchor bond, what it says is that you need to have a 2mm difference. So anything from 12mm upwards is only 2mm. When you get to 16mm, you start doing 4mm bigger with your holes for the anchor bond. So I've drilled my holes at 14mm because I'm using 12mm anchor points that are going to go in. Okay, so I've got the bottle of compressed gas because I don't have like a bottle brush. So it does say on the back of the instructions you should try and clean out the hole as best possible to get the best bond. So I'm going to use the compressed gas to actually just clean the holes out a little bit and use the hoover at the same time. So let's get putting the pier in. Right, okay, so I've cleared out the holes and now I've put the pier over the top of it. I've lined all the holes up, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get the anchor bond, going to cut the top of it off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze it out into its consistent colour, just so that we know that it's fully mixed with each other. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so you can see there's actually two bags inside of this. So one is going to be the actual mixture and the other one's going to be like a hardening component, I'm assuming. So what we need to do is cut off the metal clips, which if we'd use a Stanley knife, and then we'll screw our nozzle on. So you can see inside it's actually got like a corkscrew, and that's to mix the actual product. So get your mastic gun, and what we can do is start squirting it through. And here it comes. I'm not sure if you can see it actually mixing the different colours. And what we're going to do is just going to mix it until the consistency is the same, which there it is. So it says to fill the hole halfway, and then we can start putting some bolts in. Okay, so I managed to get all the bolts in. Needed a little bit of persuasion with a hammer. However, they're all in. Let's have a look at this. Right, so I just need to wait an hour now and it'll fully set. So we'll come back in an hour. Alright guys, so I've waited an hour now. It's fully set, and what I've done is I've gone and tightened up the actual nuts into the bolts themselves. I'll just show you now. I'll tell you what guys, that is solid. I mean, that ain't going nowhere. That is a hefty bit of equipment, that is. So this comes with a top section now, which our mount actually connects to. So we're going to put our floor tile back on, and then we're going to get the top section, we're going to level it all, and then once we've leveled it all, what we're going to do is we're going to get our mount connected to the top of it and see how it all looks. Alright, I'll do that and then we'll catch up. Alright, so we are perfectly level now on that top plate, so we're ready. There we go, look at that. Lovely. We're ready to put mount on top. So I'm going to go grab the mount and see how these holes are going to line up with everything. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so I had a little bit of a disaster, and that would be down to me not double checking certain things. So on a Pier, usually you have like a Pier adapter. The Pier adapter goes to the mount. So I did ask whether this would work, and to be honest with you, I didn't chase up whether it was actually going to fit or not. So it does need a Pier adapter. So what I've done was I took apart my CGX tripod, and I have connected that to the bottom of the top of the actual Pier. So here we go. You can see just at the bottom, and what I've done is I bolted it, put a couple of big bolt things through it. You know what, it's a temporary sort of fix if you like. I'm going to have to adjust it at some point and get a proper one in. However, there's no movement in this thing. I mean, it's not going anywhere, and I'm so impatient. I just want to get running. So we're going to see how it runs. So guys, the scope is back on. So after a few issues here and there, we kind of overcome those, and result is, have a look at it. So I haven't stuck my new monochrome camera on it just yet. So what I wanted to do, I just wanted to make sure my balance and everything was perfect. So one thing to bear in mind when you are actually balancing your telescope is make sure you take off all your caps and everything. So when I first balanced my telescope, I used to think, why are my arc seconds so bad? And what it was is actually the dew shield, the cap at the top, is surprisingly heavy, and makes a big difference when you know, you're starting to actually guide and try and guide accurately. So I always say just remove that part of the scope, because like I say, I mean, that's probably £1/2 pound, and £1/2 pound is enough to create a problem for you. Right, and then what we can do is we can balance it all and make it good. So I will actually set the camera up so you can see me balancing it. I'll do that now. So yeah, here we go, here's balancing. So there you go guys, balanced telescope. It's looking pretty lovely right now. So I think I will definitely get another Pier just to have the AM5 set up as well. But what I like about the AM5 is that I can just, you know, quickly pull it down, take it on my travels with me. But I've also got my other telescope. I'm not even going to show you that one yet. That's a bit of a surprise one, that one. It's a lovely scope, absolutely beautiful. I just haven't had the time to sort of mess around with it yet. I've not even unboxed it. Alright guys, so there we go. We've installed the Pier. Everything's looking nice hunky-dory. We're going to get ready for the next video. Alright, so I'm super happy with that. That was a pretty good day today. So I'm going to show you a couple of little spoilers for next week. Down here we've got the 2600. We're going to start running that, and yeah, I'll start working on the next video. So thanks for watching guys. Until next time, clear skies.